Okay, I'll just give you a lot of information about the acceleration program, but feel free to stop me and ask as many questions as you can, because I really have no clue like what you're looking for in this session, but I'll give you as much information as I can. Okay. So can you all hear me properly? Yeah. So NUMA runs a 6-month-long acceleration program in Bangalore for early stage startups. We select startups from almost every industry, so we are quite agnostic in that sense. And we work with startups. When I say early stage, I mean startups who have at least have an MVP, a prototype. An MVP could also be a market research, but a thorough market research. Okay, so NUMA started 15 years back in Paris, and that time, like around the .com burst, the bubble burst time, the startups were failing in Paris, and that's when NUMA got together and brought the entire startup community together to help these startups. And then eventually they were helping them so much that these startups could actually get sustainable, raise money in few years' time. So then they decided to convert into a for-profit accelerator, and then they started working with growth stage startups. So last year NUMA decided to expand itself in emerging markets, and it came to Bangalore last year in November. So that's when I launched our first season in India, and we had about 9 startups from different industries: healthcare, education, augmented reality, fashion tech, web tech, market research, so all sorts of industries. And we worked with them for 6 months, and they just graduated a week back. So I'll tell you what the program structure looks like. You start with the application form, which is online. So currently our application is open for the startups, and the deadline is 30th of June. So if you want to apply, just go to F6S, or I'll share the link of our website, apply.blr.com, where you can go and apply for the program. So there's this form, which is about 30 questions long, and we just want to know about your team, the problem that you're trying to focus on, and what's your insights on that problem. Basically, we understand that the solution may or may not change during the process, and you may modify it, so that's pretty much okay. But what really matters to us is your team and how well you understand the problem that you're trying to target. So through that application program, the questionnaire, you fill that, and then that questionnaire goes to evaluators all around the world. And based on their marking, then we call you for the next round, which is the semi-finals, where you pitch to the jury. So jury includes serial entrepreneurs, mentors, industry experts, lawyers, people like those. And then after the semi-finals, there's a finals round where you do an elevator pitch, which is a one-line pitch, and then we ask you a lot of questions. Then there's some due diligence, and then we select our final batch. So last year we got about 200 plus applications, and we selected 10 startups. Okay. Yeah, so what happens during the program, we expect you to come with an MVP, but we start with what we call a washing machine time, where we work with you on cleaning up your idea. Like if there is some sort of an industry insight that you are not aware of, because we understand entrepreneurs are very busy with their own company, they're always looking inwards, so there are things that they tend to miss. So we make sure that all that is covered. We make sure you get your company incorporated. So we have partner lawyer firms and CAs, and they help you do that. Or any other legal issues that you're facing that time. So the lawyers help you get rid of that in the first month. And then we start with your product designing, how the product should look, what's the UI, UX. Then we go to the product market fit stage, where we test that product out. We help you create your go-to-market strategy, help you get your first few customers. Then there's the traction stage, where we help multiply that number. We do a lot of workshops throughout the program, so wherever what is relevant, so growth hacking, digital marketing, all that, it's a part of the program. And then by the end, last month, we prepare you to pitch in front of the investors. So what to say, how the story should look like, how your flow should be, what your pitch deck should look like, the design of it, what sort of funding ask should be there, against how much equity and stuff like that. We work with you on that, and then we prepare you to finally pitch to the investors on the demo day. Demo day is the last day when everyone graduates. So there's a room full of investors, journalists and corporates, and you pitch to them to raise your first round of funding. So we do not charge you for anything in this process. You work out of our space in Bangalore. We are on MG Road, if anyone knows Church Street Socials, we are right on top of that. So you have your own space for 6 months. And all these facilities are in-house. So we have in-house entrepreneur in residence, in-house experts in branding and marketing. So everyone works with you every day on your on your company. NUMA takes equity, 4.5% of it, which is against the total value of the program. The total value of the program is 18,000 euros, from which 3,500 euros is cash, which we give you. So we do not invest in you, we just give you some financial support for the 6 months, and then we help you raise money. And we exit the company when startup raises their first round. So Series A, NUMA exits. So that's what the process is like. One key value prop which we have, which we give to our startups, is our global network. So NUMA is the part of Global Accelerator Network, which is just started by Techstars in Boulder. So we are the only one in India who's a part of it. This gives us access to 70+ accelerators outside India, which is in US and in Europe. And if any one of you want to explore the American market or the European market, you have a soft landing there. So there is an accelerator who would be open to you. You can go there, work out of that space, and they'll help you get in touch with the relevant people in that market. So that's our global, the GAN accelerator membership, which that gives to our startups. And it's, once you're a part of our accelerator, it is a lifetime thing. You can avail it anytime. And then the second thing which we do is startup exchange. So NUMA currently exists in 6 different cities, 6 emerging markets: Mexico, Casablanca, Morocco, Bengaluru, Barcelona, Paris. So if you guys are looking at going to one of these sites, then we run startup exchange program. So that's what Raj has got into. He is going to through startup exchange to NUMA Paris. So he gets an access to mentors in NUMA Paris for 2 weeks. He gets a space there, and he gets to make more connections and explore the European market. So that's one key value prop that we give. Yeah, I think that's about it. If you have any questions, please ask. Please ask. Say something.
Yes, do you have an office at Singapore?
No, but we are expanding in Southeast Asia, and through GAN, we have partner accelerators in Singapore. Yeah.
Like, suppose we want to register a company in Singapore, we need local directors.
Of course.
So we should be local residents in Singapore.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's something the legal team can definitely help you with. We have partners over there. So yeah, once you get selected in the program, and if you're looking to get yourself registered in Singapore, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem.
there's a taxation. There are tax benefits.
No, I understand that. I understand where you're coming from. And if you have any questions about the application form, like what do we expect, is there any question? Okay, I'll tell you. So we look at the team first of all. If you're working on a tech product, please have a CTO. Don't outsource your tech to someone. So that's something key to us. And we understand that we don't really focus on idea that much, but what is important to us is the problem that you're trying to solve, how meaningful that is, and how much do you understand the problem. So we would want you to go through that process where you first identify the problem and then jump to the solution. So team and the problem, these two things are very, very key to us.
So if we are outsourcing our product, like
yeah,
on the development phase, how you are going to?
the only thing is that might lower down your chances of getting selected, but if you are selected, we would expect you to have a CTO in the first 2 months of acceleration. Mm-hmm. We will help you with that. So we have had companies, a company who did not have a CTO, and we do recommend them people from our network or somebody who would be an interesting candidate for it. Yeah.
What if the idea we are having needs a scale up, like with someone with a higher level of studies. So for example, I'm doing a program in health sector, which requires data analytics, and for that there requires a machine learning expert to make out the biggest algorithm and better algorithm in that field. So what if we have a better plan on how to implement that particular thing, and hire outsource that particular part of the program which requires machine learning.
See, I understand as a startup you can't have all the resources in-house and you have to depend on outside resources as well. But it's always good to have control on most of your resources. So it's okay if initially you are like depending on somebody, but it shouldn't be someone like a freelancer who's handling multiple projects and then yours is one, because then you waste a lot of time depending on those people.
Actually, I have pointed at the moment. Actually, DLS automation is beginning a project which allows the startup companies to post their needs on a platform, and technical experts from all over the law can help you in that for a particular amount of money for a particular cost. So you don't need to worry about hiring a special expert for all of it.
But we require it throughout the...
Yeah, even though it is the case, you can have the expert in contact through this platform. They can help you out. Without hiring, maybe it depends upon mistake or something, you can offer to him.
Yes, so that's one thing. So we have heavy mentorship and experts coming in all the time. So we have mentors from various industries, and this is one question which we ask you on F6S, that who would you want to work as a lead mentor? So if you have somebody in mind, someone from the industry, you want that person to be your lead mentor. So lead mentor is someone who would work with you every week on your, it could be an expert, it could be your data analytics expert. What he'll do, he'll be engaged with you for quite a long time, and maybe if he's interested in your startup at some point, he would expect some equity exchange like less than 2%. So that happens. So for the last season also we have had lead mentors, and there have been lead mentors who have got so much involved with their expertise that they actually became part of the board. They actually exchanged equity in return of their experience and expertise. So we have experts, we do expert hours where every week, it's also proactive, the program, like we have planned it out, but it's also reactive. So when the startup comes and tells us, okay, I want this guy from this industry, this sort of experience and expertise, we go out, we reach out to those people and we make sure that they spend enough time with you. So that's expert hours. And then there's lead mentor hours where there's one person who's working with you throughout 6 months. So if you're looking for somebody, especially in that expertise, you can get it from the program. Yeah. You don't have to pay them. So it's okay. Just take it.
How do you evaluate the volume of the product? I mean, most of the startups come with single product kind of. What if single product?
Single product.
What if this particular company who is applying has a lot of product in different part of that particular sector.
Different offerings.
Yeah, and which means do you expect the idea to be so simple, or do you want it to be complex?
So I said the idea is not the thing. It's your vision.
Yeah.
It's the problem that you're trying to solve. If you can do it in 100 different ways. And it's for the accelerator program is the time when you test which way is the best possible way, which way is the best possible way where you're actually solving the problem, and also your startup is marketable, you can still make money, it's sustainable. So this is your time to test it out. So you can have different offerings, and we'll help you reduce the time and the cost of testing this out.
So you will kind of lead us to the prominent industries and industries like hospitals.
Yeah, of course. So NUMA, we have strong partners across the ecosystem, and we also run a corporate vertical which is called Open Innovation, through which we have a lot of corporate clients as our partners. Plus, the network itself, the CEO Naresh, he himself has like loads of contacts across Bangalore. So it's very easy. You just walk in, you say, yeah, I want to talk to this person. You write an email, you talk to that person. It's like that. So I hope I gave you enough information. If there's anything else you want to know, we'll talk during the networking session. And you take my card, you can write to me. So, okay. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Roshan, and here from TIE Bangalore, as you see the industry entrepreneurs. From the Bangalore chapter, we have a chapter of this in Kochi, if I'm not wrong, so something closer home. So I'll start off not with Antah Prerana but with TIE and tell you what TIE does first, and then go on and tell you like what Antah Prerana is and how it can help you. Start off with a few numbers. So TIE was started in 1992 in Silicon Valley, and the basic idea behind this was to help people from the Indus River and people from the same kind of origin. So these were Indians, Pakistanis, people from around that region who went to Silicon Valley and made a lot of money there. And they were like, let's give back to the environment, let's help people like us also make money, also make their ideas big, because it was tougher for people of that sort. And we still stay true to the same idea. The Bangalore chapter was started in 1999 by Nandan Nilekani and Kiran Mazumdar Shaw. They still work with us constantly on certain events and things of that sort. We have a good 120 members who are our charter members who also double up as mentors. And we are associated with about 1,000 startups, 900 of which are our members right now. Moving on. So TIE, as the name says, ties things together. We work with a lot of different platforms. So we work with academic institutions like IISc, like IIM Bangalore, like the IEEE there, like the IIIT. Like, I think you have one on campus, so something of that sort. We work with all of them. We have connections with accelerators and incubators. We work with a lot of VCs. They are our partners. We suggest companies to them. We host events with a lot of investors and VCs. We also work with the government. In our case, it is the government of Karnataka and a little with the central government. So a lot of our charter members help in drafting policy and helping the government have an outlook towards startups, maybe source some things from them because the startup does not have enough market capital to be actually sourced from by a whole government and things of that sort. Moving on, main things that TIE does is three things, which is education, networking and mentoring. I'll touch upon each of these things one by one. To start off with education. So the most important thing we do for education is conduct workshops. Workshops are, so our workspace is also a little like this, and we have a small office. So in a place like this, we have workshops, we have experienced speakers coming in. We host at least one workshop every month, 20 to 25 people attending a workshop, and we do diverse things in workshops. Like you see in the pictures here, one of the workshops was an influencer marketing, about how you can use your own friends, maybe influential people, to put your product out, to give it more visibility. The other one on the right side, you see a picture that was a workshop on the legal aspects of the startup ecosystem, how to get incorporated, what kind of things do you need, like do you want to make it a LTD company or a LLP, or you want to keep it something else for some time and then maybe incorporate it later, things of that sort, what we do. Moving on to the things with education and networking, we have something called Product Showcase. Product Showcase is somewhere where a startup is allowed to pitch. In the audience, we have about 5 to 10 investors, VCs, journalists and things, and people like that. And a lot of folks who are in the same area. Like things you see here, Startup Capital was based on using augmented reality and virtual reality in the sector of retail. So like, a lot of startups who are into AR, who are into VR and can help retail chains showcase their products there. This one was a panel discussion which happened. So panel discussions are also a part of education. We get experienced speakers. This panel had two VCs, the head of Tommy Hilfiger for Bangalore and Malcolm Maheshwari, ex-Flipkart guy. And they had a good panel discussion for 45 minutes. A lot of new trends came out, a lot of new insights. So that is again a part of education that we provide. These are the startups who have associated with us in the past 2 to 3 months for product showcases. We hold at least 10 to 12 every year. Also on the on the other things that we do for education, we have something called a Founders Forum, which is like a support group for startups. What we do is get 1 or 2 experienced entrepreneurs, sit them down as arbitrators, and the rest of the people just discuss between themselves about how They can solve each other's problems, maybe how they solve their own problems. People can learn from others by knowing what kind of things they had to go through to build up their startups. It's basically a peer-to-peer group learning session as such. We also provide something called mentoring in two ways, which is group mentoring and one-on-one mentoring. Group mentoring is again like a panel discussion where a lot of people ask different questions to the panel of mentors we have. One-on-one mentoring is a lot more personal and a lot more intense because I take care of mentoring and membership, so I connect mentors and members. All a member has to do is maybe fill in a form, a small Google form about what their company does, what their team size is, and what kind of help they want. I find mentors who are in that space, have experience in it and would be interested to help this startup and get these two connected. We have at least 10 to 15 connects every month with different mentors and different startups and follow up on what they do later on. Also, a specific part of our mentoring is something called the legal clinic. So we work with the 4 best legal firms in Bangalore, and with them we provide legal services to our startups, and this is a pro bono service. This comes with the membership. You can just walk in on any Thursday of a month and talk to our legal team, which is sitting there and handling all these startups. Now I will come down to Antah Prerana. This is what I did, and Antah Prerana is sort of a competition, a contest by time. We pick the top 10 every year. So I will go on about Antah Prerana. Antah Prerana is basically provides a platform to showcase a lot of startups. The eligibility to apply would be you're something lesser than 3 years old, preferably a for-profit organization and not funded. By not funded, I mean you cannot be institutionally funded, but if you raise some amount of seed fund, like personally or with friends or something of that sort, with relatives, that should be alright. Most importantly, this is the flow of Antah Prerana. So applications are open right now. You can just go to antahprerana.org and apply for this. There's a form, a Google form that you'll have to fill, which we went through. So the applications are open. Maybe they'll be opened in the end of this month, or we might extend the date a little more than that. Then we have an evaluation by a 16-member jury panel, from where we bring that down. We have about 200 applications. We bring the 200 to a top 30 by different vetting processes. Our jury members are from diverse fields. So we get people from every vertical working in and deciding on what startups have to be there. So after we select the top 30, we have a pitching workshop for all the top 30. Geeta Ramamurthy, one of our charter members, does that. She teaches each and every one of them, all top 30, how to present their product or their services out there, and how to pitch to investors, how to pitch in front of the next jury they're going to face, how to basically talk about their startup when that in public. After that, we have a top 30 presentation. Usually it happens in a nice hotel. We have all the charter members turning up, and all these 30 who are the top 30 pitch there. After which we select the top 10. Top 10 go through 2 different things. One is the NSR Cell boot camp, which happens at IIMB, and the other thing is something called Tide Turbo. These are the jury evaluation parameters. Basically, the idea, the impact of your idea, that is commercially, socially, or anything of that sort. Then there is market opportunity, whether you have any competitors, how is your solution any better than them, or something of that sort. How good your team is, what kind of things are you offering, how good you present and portray what idea you have out in front of people. So these are the things that we usually, the jury evaluates the startup based on. This are our jury for the commercial round and not the social round. So you see we have Ram Narayan from eBay, we have Sabrinathan, Mr. Sabrinathan, who works with IIMB and does the entrepreneurship there for them. We have Madan Mohan Rao, who covers a lot of startups on Your Story and knows a lot about them. We have those 3 out there, they are from Seed Fund, Axelor and Helion, so they are VCs, so they really know how much money the startup might make further on and things of that sort. So we cover all sorts of verticals when we are selecting a jury, so that the best 10 can turn up out of the 200. Next thing, NSR Cell Bootcamp. So NSR Cell is IIMB's own entrepreneurship development unit. So we have bootcamp sessions there, a two-day bootcamp where we have lots of different sessions. Basically, if you take a look at these sessions, these are like the 101 that you need for entrepreneurship. Something like how to develop business plan, how to hire good people, how to, go to market strategy, design thinking, and things of this sort. So this happens in IIMB. The people are expected to stay there for 2 days in the IIMB campus and hostels and go to classes like everyone at IIMB does. This is a 2-day thing. TIE Turbo, this is a more flexible 90-day program. So we assign mentors to each one of our startups, the top 10, and then they can meet depending on their free time, since both the charter members and the startups are quite busy doing their own things. You can meet on weekends, meet whenever, you can go to the office of a charter member or something of that sort and drive that thing. We follow up on all of these 10 startups so that they get the best out of the mentoring program. These are the top 10 we selected last year. You see, it's a very diverse platform. We have Bentflex, who takes care of healthcare and is into in vitro fertilization. We have ProWaste, who turns campuses into zero-waste zones. We have ExpertRec, who give recommendations when you're searching on maybe a retail site or something. Gematics helps with sportswear and swimmers. The dog thing is called Woofies. It's a social app for dogs or pet owners to put their pets on, things of that sort. Mera Food Choice lets you order food on trains. So as you see, we have like startups from diverse fields working with us and winning entrepreneurs. These are our alumni from 2014 and 2013. We've also had Red Pass work with us in 2012 and just also. Yeah. That's about it actually, about TIE and entrepreneur. Do let me know if you have any questions. Anything? You guys want to know?
Yeah, so how you are going to help us? How you are going to help us as a startup?
Okay, so that depends, again, if you want to become members or if you want to take up entrepreneur, if you just like turn into members or something. Usually what we do is do a lot of events for your education. Networking is where we help you meet different people, maybe meet fellow co-founders or something and talk to them, maybe prospective customers, prospective investors. That's our networking part. With the mentoring, you meet a lot of people with a lot of experience, people who've made it big in the space, serial investors, serial entrepreneurs, and get you in touch with them so that you can pick their brains, get the good ideas out of them, validate your idea, maybe get their help on a business model, things of that sort. That's how
every month you are conducting that workshops. Every month.
So in a month we have about 5 events. One of them is a mentoring event, that is the legal clinic. One of them will be a workshop. One of them will be a product showcase. One of them might be a panel discussion, a fireside chat, or a networking event where you just meet a lot of people and talk to them and figure out what they are doing and how you can work with them. Things of this. We have 5 to 6 events happening every month. Yes, and except for that, we also have the mentoring program where you and the mentor can meet based on your own free time.
What are the other procedures you are taking membership?
So, see, this is for the Bangalore chapter. We also have a chapter in Kochi. I do not know how well they work. But for the Bangalore chapter, it's quite easy to get a membership. You just go to bangalore.tie.org and we have a join TIE button. You can take your membership from there. The payment gateway and all of that stuff is on the website. And it's quite easy. It takes all of 2 minutes, 3 minutes to sign up. Also, entrepreneur.org is the site for the competition that we hold for the TIE Turbo and all of that. So do apply for that too. Our applications are open for maybe the next 15 to 20 years. Anything else?
Yes, we have to float the idea on that website, or we have to register, or what are the other processes?
So on the entrepreneur website, you mean. So the basics they'll ask you is what your idea is, how you think your idea will impact people, why do you want to be an entrepreneur, how do you think you can impact society or commerce by being an entrepreneur. If you have a team, what kind of stage you are in. So we accept startups from ideation stage to early stage or growth stage. So that is not a problem with us. Even you can turn up with an idea, not knowing how to monetize this, how to validate it and all that, and we still will help you. And a little more information, and that's about it with the form. So we use that kind of form to evaluate.
Maybe someone have a separate form.
Okay.
Even they can also put on ideas. Right?
Yes, certainly. That certainly isn't a problem.
You mentioned that there is you should not connect with that any seed funds or any?
Yeah, so if you are funded by someone,
Maybe the company, there is, maybe they have 2 units.
okay,
They are going to start a new unit.
okay.
Existing unit.
Oh, so that is not being funded, right? Funded by, when we mean institutionally funded, we mean by someone like an angel investor, by a VC or something of that sort. So if you are already a company, you want to start a new unit, that's just a new unit. It's not that you are funding yourself or something. So that is still considered. It shouldn't be a
Price money or anything is there? Or
We don't have prize money. This is what you get out of. You also get things like you get $1,000 of Amazon credits. You get free membership for a year and things of that sort. But the main takeaways are the 2-day boot camp in NSRCell, which is an IIB, and the 90-day program with your mentors.
The 90-day program you are charging?
Oh,
For the 90-day program?
yes.
Are you charging?
No. So mentors provide their services pro bono. The mentors are there just to give back to the environment. So they do not charge like. Even if you do not win Antah Prerana and go to the title, or if you're just a member, you still can meet mentors for free. You can get the legal clinic stuff done for free. That's not a problem at all. All of those are pro bono services.
Maybe there you have like the space and you will be providing us for 90 days in that.
No. So we are not an incubator or an accelerator as such. We just tie people up, make connections, help them work together. We do not provide you space to work there. So you could as well work out of Kochi and just meet the charter members whenever you needed to. Have a Skype call with them, discuss with them over the phone. That is totally okay with us. And that is not a problem. So, I'll ask Raj to take over from here.
Hi, I am Raj. I'm the founder of Men's Room. We are a curator for men's fashion and lifestyle. We just launched our app last week. So I was one of the startups in season 1 of NUMA, Venus was talking about, right? So yeah, I'll briefly, very quickly talk about 3 or 4 things. First, why did I apply to this program 6 months ago? And why I think I got selected, and what happened during the program, and where am I going next? Okay, see if any of this is relevant to you. This is completely my personal experience. Take bits and pieces of whatever is works for you. Okay, and you're free to ask any questions anytime. Okay, so why did I apply to this program? So I had a lot of experience working in different corporate jobs and different roles in the US. I worked for Google, I worked for Amazon, I've done my MBA, but I've never really started a business myself. I've never built anything and gone to a market and sold it and got customers and raised money, and nothing of that ever happened. So, but this is something I always wanted to do. I've always wanted to have a company with my company, right? And so I came back to India. I wanted to do this. I had this idea, but I didn't know how to go about it, right? So that's when I applied to this program. They were also starting up. Probably that's why we got it easily, maybe. But like she said, right, why we got selected, team and the vision, right? That's what they were very clear on, even from the beginning. So in my team, I didn't have too many people. We just had one more guy at the start of it. I was a machine learning expert, and this guy was also a budding coder. I just picked from somewhere and thought, let's get together and build something very quickly, like an MVP, like show something to these guys and say, hey, this is where we want to be. In 6 months from now, we want to build a global product that is suitable for different world markets in fashion and lifestyle. This is what our industry is. And they could see the passion in us. When we went to the pitch, Venus was telling us later that our passion came through, that we really wanted to build this. That we left our jobs, we came back to India, we want to do this. This is what churns through. So that's it. If you are applying, if you're planning to pitch, bring this on, bring energy, and show your passion. It works every time. So that's what happened with how we got in. I'll tell you what happened during the program. During the program, what just happened? So first of all, we built a website. We realized that after building the website, obviously, that this is not good. Like, there were no customers coming, people were not buying from us. We were looked as another e-commerce platform. There was Myntra, Jabong, Amazon. Why would anyone come to Men's Room, right? So that's when we had a lot of discussions with these guys. They have an amazing team of market researchers and mentors who give you feedback and, hey, what are you doing wrong? What are you doing right? What is your core? How do you get back to your core? How do you strengthen your core so that you can build a product that is true to you, at the same time relevant to the market? And how do you grow your business? Right? So this took a lot of time, a lot of iterations. We made nearly 6 versions of the application that we have today, and we launched it, it worked, finally we figured out, okay, this is the one that works. So multiple iterations of product. We also realized that none of us in the team are really fashion oriented. Like, you can look at me, you can see that I'm not fashion, right? So we needed a person who understands and who's passionate about fashion. So I realized that I need a co-founder for fashion who's from this industry. So these guys helped us, helped me find a co-founder who's very interested in this men's fashion space, and she has the right experience and skills to bring to the table. Also, we needed guidance in terms of how to grow a product to a business. That's where we had a mentor from Louis Vuitton, who's again from fashion industry. These guys really hear you. They listen to you and say, okay, you need this. Let us go find this for you, so that you don't have to do that hard work. You focus on building your product, your business. So they got an amazing mentor for us, and she has tremendously helped us hone our vision and kind of articulate what we want to do in a very succinct and very sublime way, which kind of helps us when we go to an investor, because investors don't have a lot of time to listen to you. They want to hear your idea, your pitch in very quickly, like in 3 minutes or 4 minutes, and they will kind of measure you, validate you. Is this a company that they want to invest in? So that's the product and understanding of our company itself. And the third part was pitching, right? This was the demo day that Venus was talking about came into picture. So the entire last month we were preparing on how to present our idea, our entire business, right, in just 3 minutes. There were a bunch of investors standing there, and they were looking at, hey, is this the team that we want to invest in? So we were prepared. There were grueling sessions of practicing, and there were lots of speakers who would come down and give us feedback. Hey, this is where you're doing right. This is not right, all this stuff. So this feedback helps. The thing is, like she was saying, we're very inward. We are constantly looking at our product, our business case, and thinking, okay, I'm doing right, I'm doing fine. But when you really go out in the market, when you see an external person give you feedback, that's when you realize, oh, I can do better, I can do something better here. So these are the things that I personally gained from this program. So during the demo day, we had good interest. This was 2 weeks ago. And we launched our app. And within 2 weeks, we have nearly 300 downloads. The app is doing fantastic. And we have a lot of interest from investors. As of yesterday, I was talking to 3 investors. It's going good. That's what I would say. Let's fingers crossed. One of them turns out to be a real investor who invests in a company. The fourth thing I would say is what is something I learned from this entire program, this experience of last 6 months, and what would I tell to myself 6 months ago, if I were in the same place. I would tell this, just stay patient, believe, trust in this program, trust in yourself, just be perseverant. There will be lots of changes that will be thrown at you. If you really want to grow your business to the level that you want it to be, you have to push yourself. Sitting in a comfortable place will just get by. You just get by, and that's not what you want to do. You want to really grow your business, make a world-class product, go out there, win the competition, right? So, you need right people, right team, and right network to be with. So, in a few months, we are going to Paris because we believe that our product is relevant for the European market. So we are exploring the European market, and NUMA, like Venus was said, has this extensive network worldwide. They have these partnerships with GAN, Global Accelerator Network. So they have enabled us to do the Startup Exchange program in Paris. So I believe that's a good opportunity for us to validate whether our business has potential in European market as well. So yeah, I had a great experience, total fun. This is an amazing place. Lots of parties and lots of networking. Yeah, it's in the right center heart of Bangalore, and coming from Silicon Valley, I didn't really miss the investment time, the startup culture in Bangalore. So if you get a chance, if you want to do this, by all means give it a shot. You won't lose anything, just it'll be a good experience. Yeah, any questions, I'm happy to answer.
How much you have raised?
In talks, I can't say this, but in talks, it's just been 2 weeks since we started talking, so we're not finalized on it.
And what is the stake you have offered to the
We're in seed stage, right? So we're looking to offer to 20%.
20%.
This is the industry standard, but again, it's all negotiations and we're still talking.
So what's the difficult part you have faced?
Like there are a couple of things that every investor looks at, right? One, do you have, what you're doing, is it something that is interest to me? Like is it commercial? Is it scalable? Is it profitable? Can I make money out of this?
So
or also, in my investor's case, is it cool? Like he's already rich. I mean, a lot of these guys are rich, right? They don't need 1 crore or 2 crores of money. They want to act cool among their friends. They want to go tell them, hey, you know what? I invested in this cool company. Yeah, so this is another like lot of psychological games go there. Yeah. So that's for me. I'll take that back. But the second thing they look at is, does your team have the ability to actually execute what you're talking, like your vision? Like, can you really do what you're claiming to do, right? So they look at your team very, very closely. They look at your experience, the skills in the team. So that's very critical. Primarily co-founders, how committed they are to this whole thing. So that's where I got some help from them as well. The third thing is the obvious traction. Like how many users, right, getting, or if it's a B2C company like in our case, how many users, how many downloads of the app, how frequently are they using, how many users do you have registered on your website, how much revenues are you making, what is the week-over-week growth, the unit economics, and all that stuff comes into the picture. So traction, team, and the whole idea of what is the industry, is it a growing industry? Like investors also invest in industries, not literally a startup. If it's food tech industry, like it's fashion tech industry, very industry focused investors. So you have to target, you have to meet